Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Bedford School District holds emergency meeting over trust issues within district. Bedford parents are calling for action after employees of the school district publicly supported a former guidance counselor who pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a 14-year-old boy. The Bedford School Board held an emergency meeting Friday night. Christy Torbeck worked in Bedford as a guidance counselor for 5 years before transferring to the Exeter School District where the assaults happened. When Torbeck was sentenced to 2.5 to 5 years in prison, more than 24 people voluntarily spoke on her behalf, including a Bedford School District employee. It sparked outrage among parents in town. One of the school staff members spoke in court, saying in part that Torbeck was far and away the strongest school counselor in the department. After the emergency meeting Friday night, parents said they don't trust that the staff members involved can properly help students in the district. After the outcry, we sat down with Superintendent Chip McGee last week. He said he felt a duty to provide information during the court hearing, but in hindsight realized they did a disservice to the student victim. Parents said they want to make clear where their support is. During the emergency meeting that only lasted about 5 minutes, the school board agreed to draft a statement, but they don't know when they'll be releasing it. They took no public comments. Meantime, in a letter sent to parents, the superintendent said he hopes to gain back their trust. Family members remember bystander killed in Weymouth shooting. Let's take a listen to the video from WCBB Boston.
Just sitting in your porch having coffee. Just unbelievable.
It was shocking to strangers. To the family of 77-year-old Vera Adams, simply heartbreaking.
On the news, we learned that there was a shooting in Weymouth. A police officer was down, and that a bystander, a woman.
It wouldn't be until 24 hours later when the news really hit home.
Said to my sister, I think it's Vera. Horror, shock for all.
Karen Nealon called her Aunt Vera, more affectionately known to her loved ones as V. She never had children of her own, but she loved and was loved by many.
She loved traveling, Had a heart of gold. She did. She never had children, but she made every child around her Seemed like it was hers.
V loved cooking, reading, and sitting on her porch drinking coffee. That's where she was Sunday morning.
I wish she slept in that day. Terrible.
Having spent much of her life working in insurance, Adams spent her later years doing for others.
She had a heart of gold. And beautiful, beautiful woman.
Well, V's family also tells us she'll be best remembered for her sense of fashion, always perfectly dressed, but beyond anything else, it was her kindness. We're live in Weymouth tonight. Nicole Estefan, WCVB News Center.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Maine governor candidates pitch ideas for education funding. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
It's time to make your camping dreams come true. At Lee's Family Trailer Sales and Service, we have...
This was the day when the Maine Education Association, the state's largest teachers union, conducted interviews with political candidates to find out which candidate the union will endorse before Election Day. We came here, too, to this Augusta Elks Lodge to catch up with some of the Blaine House hopefuls. We asked them about funding K-12 education in our state and the best way to measure success. This was also the day when state lawmakers rolled back the proficiency-based education requirement. Democratic nominee Janet Mills.
There was no guidance from Augusta on proficiency-based diplomas, and that's why it has failed and why the legislature just passed the bill to allow it as an option and not a mandate.
Independent Alan Caron is critical of how often education leaders change the ways they measure success.
If we're going to try something, let it work before you change your mind.
Republican nominee Sean Mooney says Maine's education system needs a comprehensive review that involves input from educators and members of the business community.
We have to make sure that these programs are aligned with the employers' needs out there in the private sector and nonprofits and government.
We asked the candidates about the requirement that the state fund education at 55%, a goal lawmakers often miss.
The 55%, to me, talking with a lot of people, is more of an arbitrary number than it was fact-based.
All three Blaine House hopefuls say grow Maine's economy to grow the tax base. Mills says expanding Medicaid would be a huge shot in the arm.
You know, if a corporation offered to come to Maine and offered us $500 million a year in economic benefit with a 10% match from the state, I dare say we would jump at the chance.
In Augusta, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nine family members among the 17 dead in duck boat accident. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Well, now Verizon lets you mix and match your family unlimited plan, so everybody gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't. Jet-setting moms can video chat from Europe. Movie-obsessed teens can stream obscure cinema. It's like everyone gets their own flavor of unlimited. It's a metaphor.
Simile, not a metaphor.
Well played.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Buy one of our best phones and get one free when you switch, all on the network you deserve.
Oh no. Witness videos show those terrifying moments right before a boat full of tourists capsized.
Need a water rescue. Will be north of the showboat. Will be a duck that has capsized.
Sending the 31 people on that duck boat, a popular tourist attraction which takes passengers on land and sea into the waters of Table Rock Lake.
It's going to take time to know the details of everything that's occurred, but I think it's important that we find out for sure exactly what events did occur.
At the time, a thunderstorm warning was in effect, with wind whipping over 60 miles per hour. Another duck boat passing by can be seen struggling to stay afloat.
We saw the two duck boats kind of struggling in the water. And
Trent Bear and his girlfriend Allison Lester saw the boat go down. Say the bad weather came on fast and furious.
The wind really picked up bad and debris was flying everywhere and just the waves were really rough. So it was just suddenly and out of nowhere.
The president of the company who owns Ride the Ducks says their safety history over the past 47 years in operation has been impeccable, and they're still waiting to learn exactly what happened with the weather. But he tells CBS,
no, it shouldn't have been in the water if what happened happened.
Investigators, including a team from the NTSB, will be on the ground by this afternoon. They're expected to look at the exact weather conditions that were happening that day, as well as the construction of the boat. Maggie Burley, ABC News, New York.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.